Hi, third graders. Another week of learning. This is the last full week before Christmas break. I bet you guys are super excited to have not only some break time from doing online schooling, but just Christmas is such an exciting time. So we'll buckle down though and work really hard this last full week, and then I won't give you very much next week because it's just 2 days. So it'll be a super light week next week, which I'm sure you'll be excited about. So we are going to be going to a brand new module today. We're going down module 5, and we're starting right with lesson 1. So it starts on page 115. So please get your module 5 out, lesson 1, and that's what we're going to start with today. All right, I'm going to get my camera ready. So module 5 is multiplication with multiples of 10. This just means we're going to be counting by 10. So multiples of 10 are skip counting by 10. All the numbers that can be multiplied together in groups of 10s. So we're going to get our brains moving with that by figuring out how many apples we need. So you are working at a farmer's market. You want to fill each large basket with 10 apples. So the large baskets are each going to have 10 apples. You want to fill each small basket with 5 apples. So the small baskets will have 5 apples. And we can see here, these are the large baskets, right? And then these are the small baskets, and they're even labeled for us, which is really nice. So we need to figure out how many apples we need. Well, let's count by 10s. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. There are 50 here. Looks like we're going to have the same in this row, right? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. And then we're going to count by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So if we add all this together, I have 50 plus 50, which equals 100. And then 100 plus 25 equals 125. So we need 125 apples. We want to make sure we have that label there. So we counted first by 10s, then we counted by 5s, and then we put all that together. We added that all up together. Nice job. Okay, so now we're going to see if we are ready. So we're going to turn to the Are You Ready page, and we're going to complete these problems to review things that we've done previously, prior concepts and skills that we're going to need to be able to solve the problems in this module. So first we're going to write how many 10s there are and then add them. So if I have 60 plus 10, I have 6 10s, right? If I have 60, 60 is the same as 6 10s. If I were to draw this as a picture, I would have 6 longs, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry, they're not all the same size. They should be the same size. And then I have how many 10s here? I just have 1 10 there. So I have 6 10s plus 1 10, which equals 7 10s. 7 10s is the same as 70. 60 plus 10 equals 70. Now I have 50 plus 40. So how many 10s do I have in this first bunch? There are 5 10s because 5 10s is the same as 50. And then in the second, what I'm adding to it, 40 is the same as 4 10s. So 5 10s plus 4 10s equals 9 10s. And 50 plus 40 is 90. 90 is the same as 9 10s. Okay, we are going to circle the blocks to show hundreds, and then we're going to write the number 3 different ways. So first, let's see how many 10s we have, because that's the first question it wants to know. So we have, these are each one group of 10, because the longs are the same as 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. We have 20 10s. And then they want us to circle in blocks to show hundreds. So if I count by 10s, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. This is where I'm going to draw my circle. So there's one group of 100. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. There's a second group of 100. So how many groups of hundreds are there? There's two groups of hundreds. So two groups of hundreds is the same as 200. So let's do the same thing down here. How many tens do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. I have 30 tens. So how many hundreds is in 30 tens? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. There's one 100. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 200. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. There's another 100. So how many groups of 100 did we find? We found 1, 2, 3 groups of 100. So 3 groups of 100 is the same as 300. Nice. All right, and now we need to find the product of some of these multiplication facts. So 3 times 9. So remember, we could take our 9 and we could make it a 4 and a 5, and we could multiply that by 3 to help us find our product. So then I'm going to take my 3 and I'm going to multiply it by each piece. So 3 times 4, and we're also going to multiply 3 times 5. And then when we're all done, we're going to add up the two answers. So 3 times 4. So if I count by 3s 4 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I have 12 plus 3 times 5. I'm going to count by 5s 3 times. 5, 10, 15. So I have a 12 plus a 15, which gives me 27. So 3 times 9 is 27. Or you could count by 3s 9 times. 6 times 8. Remember, we could find our 4 fact and then just double it with our 8s. So if we do 6 times 4, so we have 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. That's 6 times 4, and then we double it. So 24 plus 24 equals 48. And then finally, 4 times 5. This one we don't have to do any extra work on. Just count by 5s 4 times. 5, 10, 15, 20. Nice job. So that's just getting us ready for our first lesson in Module 5. So we're going to be using the distributive property when we're finding products when one factor is a multiple of 10. So we have 3 friends, and they place 4 rows of 30 tiles each on a swimming pool floor. Each friend uses the distributive property to show the number of tiles that they placed. Gina says, I showed a sum multiplied by a number. Roy says, I showed a sum of 3 products. And Bree says, I showed the sum of 3 numbers. So what we know for certain is they have 4 rows, and there are 30 tiles in each row. And we need to figure out, how do we multiply 30 times 4? So Gina said she showed a sum multiplied by a number. So she took her 30 and she broke it up into tens. How many tens are in 30? If we were to count by 10 to get to 30. 10, 20, 30. So there are how many 10s in 30? There are 3 10s in 30. So Gina said 10 plus 10 plus 10, and she had her 4 on the side. So essentially what she did is she multiplied 4 times 10 3 times, and then she added them. So 4 times 10 plus 4 times 10 plus 4 times 10 is what Gina did. So 4 times 10 equals 40 plus 40 plus 40. 40 plus 40 plus 40. 4 plus 4 is 8. 8 plus 4 is 12. So 120. Now Roy, he said he showed a sum of 3 products. So what he did was, inside each square, he multiplied 4 times 40 inside each square. Or sorry, 4 times 10. 4 times 10. 4 times 10. 4 times 10. Scratch that. 4 times 10. So 4 times 10 each time. So he got 40 plus 40 plus 40, which is the same as what Gina got after her steps, right? Which is the same as 120. And then Bree said, I showed the sum of 3 numbers. So she had 40, 40, 40, which equals 120. So there are 120 tiles, and notice how you can get it in multiple different ways. There are lots of different ways. We just need to break up our 10 because 10s are easy to count by, and then we can figure out our answer. So let's do some more practicing with this. Jamal is tiling a patio. Oops, sorry. I didn't fix my camera back up. Jamal is tiling a patio. He places 6 rows of tiles with 20 tiles in each row. How many tiles does he use? Label the area model and complete the equations. Show how you can use the distributive property to find the product. So how could we show 6 rows of 20 on this grid? Well, we know we have 6 rows, right? So our 6 is going to go on this side because this is my rows. And then I have 6 rows of 20. Now I'm going to break up my 20 into 10s because I know I can count by 10s to make it easier for me. So it will be breaking up 20 into 10s are 2 10s. 2 10s equal 20. So I need 6 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to draw my line across right here because that's where I know my 6 is. So if I have 6 rows of 10, I'm going to count by 10s 6 times. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Counting by 10s 6 times gives me 60. So if I have 60 over here, I'm going to count by 10s 6 times again over here. I'm going to do the same thing because I took my 20, remember, and I broke it apart into my 2 10s. So instead of trying to do 6 times 20, I'm going to do 6 times 10 and then 6 times 10 again, which gives me 60. So how could you break apart the factor of 20 into multiples of 10? Well, we did, right? Our 20 into multiples of 10, there are 2 10s, right? And then how many tiles are in each smaller rectangle that you made in the area model? So we've got our smaller rectangle. How many tiles are in there? There are 60 tiles. Why do you need to add the products of the 2 smaller rectangles? Well, because we need to find the total number, right? Not just 10 of them. We want 20. We don't want just 10. So we need to add those 2 together because we want to find the total number of tiles. So we want to find the total number of tiles, not just 10 of them. If I do just 10 of them, then I'm not finding how many tiles that Jamal needs. Jamal needs 6 rows of 20. To get 6 rows of 20, I can break apart my 20 to be 2 10s. That's how I'm going to find my answer, because counting by 10s is a lot easier. So my problem looks something like this. 6 times 20 equals 6 times, and we broke apart our 20 into 2 10s, so 10 plus 10 is the same thing as 20, right? These two are the same exact thing, so I'm doing the same thing. I'm just breaking it apart to make it easier to solve. So 6 times 20 equals, I'm going to have to multiply each 10 by 6, which is what I did up here, right? I multiplied each 10 by 6. So 6 times 10 and 6 times 10. So 6 times 20 equals 6 times 10 is, we already figured that out, right? 6 times 10 is 60 because I counted by 10s 6 times. So 6 times 10 twice. So 60 plus 60 equals, what's 6 plus 6? 12. So 120. So how many tiles does Jamal use? 120 tiles. So you can see how breaking apart a number that is a multiple of 10 into its how many 10s there are, how much easier it is to solve than to try to do 6 rows of 20. If you do 6 rows of 10 2 times, it's a lot faster and a lot easier. Because I know I like to count by 10s. Don't really count by 20s very often. But counting by 10s, yeah, that I can do. All right, Trish, she's placing tiles on one wall of a swimming pool. There are 7 rows of tiles with 30 tiles in each row. How many tiles does Trish place on the wall? Okay, so here's our model, right? We know we have 7 rows, so 7 rows goes on this side, right? So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'll draw my line right there. That's where my 7 is. And then I need to show 30 tiles on each in each row. But I'm going to take my 30 and I'm going to break it apart into groups of 10. So how many groups of 10 are in 30? Count by 10s till you get to 30. How many 10s do you have? 10, 20, 30. I've got how many 10s? 3 of them. So I need 3 10s across the top. So how could we write the product as a sum multiplied by a number? That just means we're going to do 7. It's just like what was written here. We're going to take our 7, which is how many rows we have, and we're going to multiply that by our groups of 10. And how many groups of 10 do we have? We have 1, 2, 3 groups of 10. So 7 times 10 plus 10 plus 10. So we need to take those 10s that are added together and we're going to multiply them by 7. Because if I were to add these together, I would get 30, wouldn't I? 10 plus 10 plus 10 is 30. It's just like doing 7 times 30. We're just doing it in an easier way for us to solve. So how could we write the product as a sum of 3 products? So I have to take my 7, and remember my 7 gets multiplied by each one of my 10s. So 7 times 10 plus 7 times 10 plus 7 times 10. 7 is going to be multiplied by each one of those 10s. Just like up here, I would do 7 times 10, 7 times 10, 7 times 10. So then we're going to write the product as a sum of 3 numbers. So this is our product, what's being multiplied. And then we're going to show how it's a sum of 3 numbers, how it's adding together with the 3 numbers. So 7 times 10 equals 70, right? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. 7 times 10 is 70, and I have that 3 times. So how many tiles does Trish place on the wall? So it's 70 plus 70 plus 70. So all my zeros added together equals 0. 7 plus 7 equals, I hope you got 14. And then 14 plus 7 equals, I hope you added that together and got 21. So how many tiles does Trish place on the wall? 210 tiles. She places 210 tiles. Nice job. So now we've got Elena, and she's also decorating a swimming pool wall, and her swimming pool wall has 5 rows of 40 tiles each. So each one of her rows, there's going to be 40 tiles in it. So to find 5 times 40, we're going to show one way to break apart 40 into multiples of 10. So we're going to take our 40. How many 10s are in a 40? 10, 20, 30, 40, right? There's 4 10s in 40. So 5 times 40 is the same as 5 times, and we need 1, 2, 3, 4 10s. 5 times 4 10s. Another way to break apart 40 into multiples of 10, I don't really like this. We're gonna skip this part. If this is what we're working on, I'd rather stay with the 5 times the multiples of 10. So we're skipping letter B, okay? So how many tiles does Elena use? Well, we're going to multiply our 5 times our 10. That equals 50. And I'm doing that 4 times. 5 times 10, 5 times 10, and then 5 times 10 again. So I need 5 times 10, which is 50, 4 times. So when I add this together, my 4 zeros equal 0. 5 times 5, 5 plus 5 equals 10. 5 plus 5 equals 10. 10 plus 10 equals 20. So Elena uses 200 tiles. Alrighty. So Philip paves a walkway with stones. Oh, we're away from the pools. That's good. Now we're doing a walkway with stones. He uses 4 rows of stones with 40 stones in each row. So he has 4 rows with 40 stones in each row. How many stones does Philip use? So our problem is 4 rows of 40, which is the same as 4 times 40, right? 4 rows of 40 is the same as 4 times 40. So we see we've got our grid up here that we can use to help us. So we know that it's 4 rows, so the rows go on this side. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll draw my line after I count my 4. And groups of 10. How many groups of 10 do I need? 10, 20, 30, 40. 10, 20, 30, 40. I need 4 groups of 10. So I'm going to put my 10s above here. So this would be 10 plus 10 plus 10. So now we're going to write the products of the smaller rectangles. So they already did one of them for us. 4 times 10, 4 times 10, 4 times 10, and 4 times 10. So we have 4 times 10, 4 times. So 4 times 10 equals 40. And we're going to write that down here 4 times. So 40 plus 40 plus 40 plus 40. All of our zeros equal 0, right? 4 plus 4 equals 8. So that means this 4 plus 4 equals 8. So what does 8 plus 8 equal? I hope you said 16. So we have 160 stones. Philip uses 160 stones. All right, let's do some check for understanding. So Verna places 3 rows of tiles with 60 tiles in each row on the patio floor. Draw and label the area model to find the total number of tiles that Verna uses. So how many rows? We have 3 rows, and we have 60 tiles in each row. So we want 3 rows, 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to draw my line across where my 3 is. And I've got 60 tiles. So how many groups of 10 is that? That's 6 groups of 10. So, oops, sorry. I was saying 6 when I wrote it. So 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10. I made 6 of my 10s. So this means I'm going to be multiplying 3 times 10 plus 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 3 times 10. Okay, so I've got 6 of those. So 3 times 10 equals 30. So I need 30 6 times. So if I have 36 times, I'm going to come over here where I've got more space. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3 plus 3 equals 6. These 3's equal 6, and these 3's equal 6. So then 6 plus 6 equals 12. So then you have, oops, sorry, all of our zeros I forgot to do first, our zeros. Then we have 12 plus 6. And 12 plus 6 is 18. So we have 180 tiles. They didn't give us enough room to do all that work. All right, write one way to break apart the factor into multiples of 10. Oh, I don't like that they did this. We're going to get rid of that one. I don't like that they did that because it's not giving us enough for both of them. So we're going to skip those and we're going to move on. Okay. Pam says that she can write 8 times 60 as the sum of 2 products. Is she correct? They didn't give us enough. Okay, we're going to skip that one too. I don't like it when they do that. When they give you, they want you doing it all by 10s and then they throw in these other ones in there and it just doesn't make sense to me. So we're also going to skip this one. I'll probably give you some to skip on your homework as well. So 8 times 20 is the same as, how many groups of 10 do we have? We have 2 groups of 10. So it's 8 times 10 plus 8 times 10. So 8 times 20, what's 8 times 10? 80 plus 80. So 0 plus 0 is 0. 8 plus 8 equals 16. So we have 160. 9 times 30 equals, oh, they did one of them for us, 9 times 10, 9 times 10, 9 times 10. So we have 3 groups of 10. So 9 times 30 equals a 9 times all of those 10s. I don't know why they wrote it backwards, but okay. So 9 times 10 equals 90. If you count by 10s 9 times, you get 90. And we need 3 of them, right? So 9 plus 9 equals 18. 18 plus 9 equals I hope you added and got 27, and all of our zeros are 0. So we have 270. And then number 7. 7 times 50 equals 7 times 10 plus 10. I need 5 of them. 10, 10, 10. So we're not going to do this part. So 7 times 10 equals 70, and we're doing that 7 times, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, no, we're doing that 5 times, sorry. Because we have 5. Sorry. 3, 4, 5. Probably shouldn't be doing these on a Sunday when my brain is fried after the weekend. Because I was busy baking all weekend, or all day yesterday. 7 plus 7 equals 14. 7 plus 7 equals 14. So then we need to add 14 plus 14. 28. And I need to add 28 to my 7. 28 plus 7. Did you get 35? And I have my 0. So 350. So Alyssa uses this area model to find the product of 3 times 20. How could she use her drawing to find 3 times 40? Well, she's already got 3 times 20, which is 2 of them. So how many would she need? She would need 2 more, right? She would just need 2 more 10s to find her answer. So then her problem would be 3 times 10 plus 3 times 10 plus 3 times 10 plus 3 times 10. 4 times. So it would be 30 plus 30 plus 30 plus 30. 30 plus 30 equals 60. And then 60 plus 60 equals 120. Okay. We're going to skip number 12, but we will do 10 and 11. So Gwen places 9 rows of 80 tiles each on a tabletop. How many tiles does Gwen place? So this problem would be 9 times 80. We want 9 rows and 80 tiles each. So 9 times 80. So we need to multiply 9 times 10 8 times. Okay? So 9 times 10 plus 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 9 times 10. So 9 times 10 is 90, and we need that 8 times. So 90 8 times. So 9 plus 9, or if I count by 9s 8 times, which this is one of those multiplication facts, right, that we were trying to figure out before. But 9 plus 9 is 18. So each one of these is 18. And now I've got 18 plus 18, which is really 180, 4 times. So my zeros, 8 plus 8 is 16, 24, 32. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's 720 tiles. All right, and the last one. The Arctic Circle marks the place where the sun never sets during summer and the sun never rises during winter. The location of the Arctic Circle depends on Earth's tilt. The pull of gravity from the moon increases this tilt, causing the Arctic Circle to move north about 50 feet each year. How far north will the Arctic Circle have moved after 7 years? Use the distributive property to find your answer. So we've got 7 years, which would be our 7 rows, and it's 50 feet each year. Okay, so it's 7 times 50, which is the same as 7 times 10 5 times. One, two, three, four. I need one more. So 7 times 10 equals, count by tens 7 times. You should get 70. So we're going to do 70 5 times. So 70 plus 70 is 140. So these two would be 140. 140 plus 140 is 280. And then we need to add that to 70. So 280 plus 70, I'm going to write that down here. 0 plus 0 is 0. 8 plus 7 is 15. Regroup my 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. So 350 feet. So I apologize. That was a super long lesson, longer than I thought it was going to be. I'm going to have you do number 1, 2, 3. You do not have to do number 4. And you do not have to do number 7. Okay? So 1, 2, 3 you are doing. So not 4 and not 7. So on 5.1, do not do 4 or 7. So you get a little bit less for homework or for the independent work. All right, guys, I'm sorry that lesson was so long. Hopefully the next one won't be quite as long. All right, I will see you soon. Bye, guys.